I'd like to call the meeting to order, this special meeting for the Belleville City Council of October 24, 2016. Roll call of Alderman.
Alderman Hazel.
Here.
Alderman Kinsella. Alderman Pusa.
Here.
Alderman Bittner.
Here.
Alderman Randall.
Here.
Alderman Tyler.
Here.
Alderman Anthony.
Here.
Alderman Ovian.
Here.
Alderman Silsby.
Here.
Alderman Dillman.
Here.
Alderman Seibert.
Here.
Alderman White. Alderman Galletti.
Here.
Alderman Elmore.
Here.
Alderman Wigington.
Here.
Alderman Musgrove.
Here.
Alderman Kinsella and Alderman White are excused. Please note that City Treasurer Hart is here and Mr. Harner is filling in because the City Clerk was unavailable to be here tonight, Dallas. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please join me and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no public hearing this evening. We didn't set up all the microphones, so when we do get to the discussion item and the action item, if you raise your hand, we'll get you either that mic or this one here to speak into. I just want to remind everybody, I think everybody's pretty well familiar, except for our guest. If there's a fire, get one of the closest exit. Please try to meet in front of the auditorium. And if there would be some storm weather blow up, come up suddenly, go to the basement and get to the middle hallway or bathroom away from any glass. I will open public participation. There's not much on tonight's agenda, but if there anybody, if there's none, I will move on to the purpose of tonight's meeting. When we met last week, I had been meeting with this young lady to seriously talk about bringing her name forward as interim human resources director. But at the time, she hadn't yet completed all her exiting things from her current job that she's taking an early retirement from. When I was told by Jim Schneider many weeks ago that he wanted to retire the first few days of November, I knew we had to get busy, and I thought, oh boy, we're going to have some downtime here where I'll be having an open position. And I don't like that, especially with HR, because it can one day be quiet, and next day can be a zoo, and there's enough stuff on my plate. And Mr. Harner said, I think I know somebody who might be interested in talking to you. So you have on your tables tonight a better, clearer copy than what I was told that was in your packet or maybe downloaded. Might have been a little blurry. But I bring to you tonight, and I'm going to be asking in a minute, for a recommendation to hire Sherry Favar as the interim director of Human Resources and Community Development. There's a lot of things we're looking at, but at the moment I'm wanting her to just assume Jim's duties as they are. We're going to be reviewing everything. As you know, a lot of things are in the process of being reviewed anyway with the township. Economic development, Anissa and Eric have been helping Jim for some time with a lot of the community development networking. So we'll get to that more often, and I certainly had a preliminary discussion with Sherry. You can see Sherry's resume is very lengthy, very thorough, and outstanding. She's been at SWIC 18 years?
18 years.
18 years. She came highly recommended for the gentleman to my right, who has worked with her. And when this all happened with Jim Schneider, and it was after that he said, we have introduced an early retirement at SWIC, but I didn't know Sherry was going to express interest. And that's when I said, well, let's have a meeting. So tonight, I'm asking that you would, now on the letter, the memo I put in the packet, this would be for 6 months. She's currently making more money than this right now. This is for a 6-month period. She has a master's in human resources, and as you can read yourself through here, she not only does teachings and trainings, she's written a book, she's part-time faculty also at SWIC, and I feel like we're extremely fortunate for at least the 6 months, and we'll see where it goes from there, see if she likes us, and see if it all works out for all sides, and see how the new fiscal year works out for everybody. So I'm going to first of all ask for if someone's willing to make a motion to accept my recommendation as this appointment, and then we'll open it for discussion. Do I hear a motion? Alderman Seibert, I'll make the motion, and Hazel the second. I'll open it up now for discussion or any questions that you might have. Once again, let me just finish what I meant to say. The only reason I dared to bring you all out here for a special meeting is Jim Schneider is, as you know, leaving the first couple days of November, and I'm really hoping, she's been so gracious to say that her last day is the 30th or 31st, and she's willing to come in right away and spend a day or two with Jim, and I think that's worth a great deal. I don't want to prolong or ask him to change his scheduled vacation for some rock climbing or whatever he's got on his plate scheduled, but I think that they can get a couple days together. It makes a big difference. So that's why I wanted to facilitate this special meeting. But I didn't know until the board approved it Wednesday or Thursday of last week that her package was accepted at SWIC. So I couldn't really advertise or tell you anything until she had that down for a fact. So with that said, any questions? Yes, sir.
You want me to go up to the mic or?
Yeah, or you can come right here to this one, whatever you'd like to do. Just don't trip on the cords. Workers' comp a little high this year.
After 6 months, Mayor, will we see a progress report, or how will we know what her performance is, a performance or a progress report? What has she instituted in those 6 months, what she's accomplished? Are there new things she's implementing? Because I think if we're going to go forward, I mean, the resume is quite extensive. It's got the experience. Of course, working at university as opposed to working in cities with 9 unions.
She's got 7 unions, so she's got some equal.
Absolutely. But I think that we would all want to have some idea at the end of that 6 months, where are we with her? What's been
I
accomplished?
can guarantee you, without going into great detail right this moment, she and I have already talked. She's going to help us with several tasks that Garrett and I have already sat down and talked with her about. I have no doubt from what I've learned that she's very task-oriented, and that we're going to be all very pleased with her performance of what she can do to help us. Not that we have a lot of things to correct, but we can always get better. We can always get stronger, and I really firmly believe you'll see it, but I'll also address that. If I'm fortunate enough to be back here for appointments in May, I will certainly address that very clearly, what she's all accomplished in this 6 months. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Yes.
she a city resident.
She is not right this moment. She was for many, many, many years, but not too long ago, moved a few miles, not very far out, but at this time she is not. But for an interim position, and even if we hired her full-time tonight, she would have 15 months per the Justice Department to move into the city. So that discussion and that hurdle can be looked at in the long term. Okay? Any other questions? Hearing none, I call for a roll call.
Alderman Hazel.
Aye.
Alderman Pusa.
Aye.
Alderman Bittner.
Aye.
Alderman Randall.
Aye.
Alderman Tyler.
Aye.
Alderman Anthony.
Aye.
Alderman Ovian.
Aye.
Alderman Silsby.
Aye.
Alderman Dillman.
Aye.
Alderman Seibert.
Aye.
Alderman White. Alderman Galetti.
Aye.
Alderman Elmore.
Aye.
Alderman Wiggington.
Aye.
Alderman Musgrove.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously here this evening. Sherry, would you want to say anything? You don't have to, but
Oh, thank you so much. First of all, I just want to say thank you, and I am sincerely honored
by the appointment tonight. I've worked in Belleville for 18 years. I've seen all kinds of progress going on under Mayor Eckert's leadership, and I can't wait to roll up my sleeves and be a part of that coming up. So I will keep careful notes for the next 6 months to document the progress. And while I do live in Freeburg, you know, it's pretty close to Belleville. So I can't wait to get started. And if you have questions, I'll hang around. Come talk to me. I look forward to this.
Thank you, Sherry. We got just a couple other quick things that they put on here, which is fine. I'd asked if you've had a chance to look over the City Council meeting minutes of October 17th. When you're ready, would someone care to make a motion to accept and file? Motion by Wiggington, second by Elmore. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor of accepting the minutes and filing from October 17th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have from administration, they asked to get this motion to approve a solicitor's license request from Adam S. Brewer, Edward Jones. Do I hear a motion? Motion by Tyler, second. Second by Elmore. Discussion?
Yes, sir. My intention to abstain on grounds. that
Oh,
it's
I
not
understand.
my interest.
No, duly noted. Any other comments? All in favor of accepting this recommendation for solicitor's license, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolutions, I'd ask for a motion to read by title only, Resolution 3284.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Silsby, second by Alderman Diddleman. All in favor of reading by title only, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 3284, a resolution allowing temporary closure of Route 159 for the Santa Parade.
Motion to approve Resolution 3284, so moved.
Motion by Alderman Silsby, second by Alderman Pusa. Any questions reference that? We certainly want to have the Santa Parade. Roll call.
Alderman Hazel.
Aye.
Alderman Pusa.
Aye.
Alderman Bittner.
Aye.
Alderman Randall.
Aye.
Alderman Tyler.
Aye.
Alderman Anthony.
Aye.
Alderman Ovian.
Aye.
Alderman Silsby.
Aye.
Alderman Diddleman.
Aye.
Alderman Seibert.
Aye.
Alderman Galetti.
Aye.
Alderman Elmore.
Aye.
Alderman Wiggington.
Aye.
Alderman Musgrove.
Aye.
Motion carries. We put executive session on there in case there was some unusual grave debate about personnel issue tonight that we could have moved into there. I see no reason. Garrett said he sees none. Motion to adjourn. Alderman Galetti makes that motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Musgrove. Any additions or corrections? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You can stay. Okay.